Well, all right, crew. I'm on my way to see my friend Cole. If anyone wants to come with, they can, but I gotta hurry up and hurry. I'm waiting for him for days.
I don't know how I feel about meeting terrorists again, Prava. We know a lot of terrorists.
I think you guys are counted as terrorists at one point.
Oh, Aiden, instead, would you like it? Oh, that's 675 credits, and I might want to hold off on that. It was something that for a standard action, you could drop it, and it drops entangling and difficult terrain.
Well, that does sound like fun, but that's okay, Thiveron. Speaking of which, you've been making a lot of stuff for us, but don't you need something?
I gain my powers from my connection with my deity. I have no use for more technologically superior items.
Then I shove a magazine in his face and I say, automatic pizza dispenser.
What?
Yeah, see, you set the timer and it automatically makes you a pizza in different styles from different packed worlds.
Aiden, this is so beautiful. I don't know what to say.
How much does it cost, Ash? I'm buying it.
Basically, you want to buy a food producer.
But specifically for pizza. The best quality. Thiveron is a connoisseur after all.
Alright, let me look. If it's the best quality, but it only makes pizzas, I would say around about 1,500.
I'll buy it. Thiveron has a pizza dispenser waiting for him on the ship now. With a little
Nice.
ball attached.
That it only costs 10 credits or less to make what you want within this food synthesizer.
Actually, doesn't that mean that we no longer need to buy boxes of rations on the ship?
Ash, I'm also gonna make a teleportation puck, by the way.
Ah, nice. God, you guys have so much teleportation. But now you do get information from before you leave, actually, I forgot to mention. But Josiah does mention that the Tenebris Guard are wanted by the Pact Worlds.
Oh, good.
Gee, I wonder why.
Apparently, there is a limit to that whole mercenaries law thing.
I mean, you know how it is, man. When you've got a good thing going, somebody finds a way to ruin it for everybody. That's basically them.
Right, yeah. Prava's gonna go and see Cole. So, you're gonna probably go and meet him at Dia's Diner.
That's the spot where we go.
Restaurant now, I guess. It's now a proper building. It's no longer just a store.
It's like in the same place, that she's like on the same land, just like with a building down over it, or did she move to like a fancier?
She basically bought like a building or two down, like another shop, and it's just turned it into a restaurant.
I imagine Prava goes to the old place first and see it's like closed down, like, oh no, what? And then looks across the street and sees like the big fancy Dia's noodles, and just like,
You see like people relaxing in there. It's very diner-esque. People enjoying their noodles from a chef that was at the culinarium.
And there's just a loud thump as Prava presses himself against the glass and stares inside. And then he enters. Dia, Cole here yet? Dia, wow, look at this place. Does she have all the fancy equipment she always used to talk about when we were, younglings in the Spire? Like, oh, if I ever get a real restaurant, I gotta have this stove, I gotta have this.
Yeah, she's got the brand new tools and knives and everything. She said he's over in the booth. Like, you're basically calming Prava down with all three of her arms going, he's over there in the booth.
Cole, oh my god, how was your trip to Oxen? Did you get along with your new people?
Cole gives a smile. He's clearly still using the hologram thing that covers up, like he's looking like his old hobgoblin self with his red skin and everything. He's like, welcome back, Prava. How are you?
I mean, hunted by a radioactive giant bug, about to go to war with the Tenebris Guard, absolutely soaked in gravitonic energy. But now you're here, so everything's way better. As you
finish that sentence, he suddenly stands up from the table, grabs onto your shoulder. He's like, "Yes, I know about that part." He looks towards the patrons that are looking towards him, and if anybody came from the rest of the group, he looks towards it and he goes, "Sit down."
They joined.
So Brian's here too? Is that what you're saying?
Mm-hmm.
Cole, Brian, Cole.
Hello, it is pleasure to meet you, Cole, Brian Cole.
I have never seen you before.
I am new.
It's good seeing you then.
Thank you. It is pleasure to be meeting you, Cole.
It's a pleasure to meet you as well. Anyway, it's about the creatures that you saw, Prava.
It's very strange, yeah. So tell me about these things coming after me then.
Right, since you're here as well, Brian, you will see it as well as Cole sweeps his hand in front of him, and it's almost like he's grabbing onto the world itself, and as he pulls, almost this darkness starts to cover all three of you. And you see small stars within the darkness as it starts to cover and consume the area. And suddenly you're standing in a place of both the brightest orange you've seen and the deepest blue. Stars there seem infinite, but you're standing on a staircase. Or well, sitting, since the booth is still at the end of the place.
Is this the place Prava saw when he attuned with the crystal Cole gave him? Is this the same?
Yes.
Okay.
The star held in place by the dead star, the black hole.
What beautiful balance, what beautiful cosmic order.
Yes, but it's not natural. You see, it wasn't meant to be this way. This place, it is designed like a cage. He gestures towards the floating ruins that have no perch. You can't see behind you. It's almost like a hazy blur in a way.
Sweet. So they're the ones who tried to use this artifact to harness this power. They were coveting.
No, this is going back eons, long ago, even before the gap. That's an ancient people who made all this. The artifact used to sit on that dish over there. People used to come and pull their power from it. That's not important. The Tenebrous Guard, they are the ones that wanted it. They're the ones who got others to claim it, and it went through the Red Razors. That's when it reached us. He's patting his chest, and as he does, Brian, you can see his hand go through his chest, essentially. His red chest, and touches chest, and suddenly the red hobgoblin hologram disappears, and now he's a blackened, charred skeleton, almost lich-like. I don't know why they need such huge power, but they're not interested anymore. That's why they haven't been after us. But but something else is those people that had this power before. Something happened. This is something that made them strange, like what you saw. Beings of pure energy feeding off this contraption. They're drawn to you. The more power you use, the more beacon-like you become. I tried to offset it, but you've become more powerful than me, or at least the same grade. He looks out towards the ruins. This is the place you must come to when you're ready. I will be waiting there.
If that's how you say it is, Cole, I'll trust your judgment. I'll believe in what you have to say, but I don't like watching you do this by yourself. I wish you had someone to take with you, or...
My mind's gone, Prava. I can barely hang on. Just come when you're ready. Everything will be fine.
Very well. We'll deal with the Tenebrous Guard. We'll clean up what we have to clean up. And then I'll meet you there, Cole.
Good. See you, my friend. And goodbye, Brian.
Have safe travels, Cole.
As he stands up, you see the area once more start to crumble away. But as it does, Cole seemingly goes with the vision, and he's gone.
I hate when he leaves through teleportation.
That was very cool. Are you
Yeah.
okay, Prava? This seems like a lot.
I mean, I've been dealing with a lot ever since me and Cole got these powers. Pretty par for the course, to be honest with you. I have people to do it with now, you know? When these powers first came in, I spent 2 years just alone out in space, and that was way harder than anything we've done as a group.
Okay. I'm glad you could trust me with this.
Yeah, you're part of the crew, you're part of the family, and I'm gonna have to ask for your help when it comes time for me to resolve all this, so,
And I will be
Yeah.
there, of course.
then thank you.
Well, hopefully we can see him soon once we fucking demolish the another Barbarous guard, and then we can eat all of the noodles.
Someone say noodles, Dia says.
I mean, we're here, we might as well have a round, right?
Exactly.
What do you think about all this, Dia? Cole, he seems a little shaken, but that's still him in there, right?
He seemed different, but I'm afraid what's wrong with him.
But we're all different too from how we were back in the old days, right? I don't think it has to be a scary thing. Prava's eyes, like I know it's pretty bad, isn't it? The way
Yeah,
he
she's
is
trying to-
sounding that.
She's trying to console you, but clearly she's like,
He's almost worse than he was with the razors. Not as willfully violent, but more self-destructive. I didn't even get to give Cole the friendship bracelet. I was gonna probably it's really pouty now.
You'll see him soon, then you can give him the friendship bracelet. He'll love it.
You realize you just triggered the flag where the next time you see him, he'll be dying and you can't give him the bracelet, right?
I mean,
no.
you could just
no.
give it to him, Dia says.
What do you mean? He's gone.
He's like she takes out her phone, like, making sure on something. Yeah, he's at his hotel.
Okay, Brian, head back to the ship. I'll be back soon. Gotta run. And probably jetpacks off out the door. Doesn't even
Yeah.
wait for the food. The Tia promised doesn't even.
Dia's like, he didn't even ask me where his hotel was. I'll text him
Oh,
it.
yeah.
Listen,
goodness.
probably jetpacks first, phones later. All right.
Yeah, it's like he jetpacks out, goes left, and she texts him, and then he goes right. He's like,
Oh
but
my
yes,
goodness.
Cole is in fact at the hotel room.
I doubt the front desk will tell me where Cole is. So probably gonna text Cole like, wait. Which room number? What floor?
He hears one of the doors open. He looks over a balcony because it's one of those like motel steel.
Oh,
And he's
okay.
like looking out. He's like, Prava, how did you find me?
Don't worry
I
about it.
disappeared so well.
Yeah, probably slaps a bracelet into his hand. Put this on. Put the.
Okay.
It'll tell you what my condition is. If I'm hurt, if I'm in danger, you'll be able to feel it through this.
Oh,
So it's a magical. And that Cole probably puts this bracelet on. Did Cole put his on yet?
yes.
What's wrong? Your heart's not beating. You're not breathing. Oh, right.
Skeleton looks towards you. He doesn't have eyebrows, but you can see almost feel the fact he's going, are you serious?
I'll meet you there as soon as I can. Don't you do anything dangerous. If you need backup, call me right away. I'll drop everything.
Good. Okay. See you later. I guess I know if you're hurt. Be careful.
Bye, Cole.
With that, he goes back into his room. He looks sketchy. He's basically looking around as if afraid somebody's going to notice him, and he goes back in the room.
Probably stares at his window for a solid 5 minutes before he actually leaves.
It's time to run down some runners, isn't it?
Or has Brian gone to the box?
I have gone to the box. Where is our ship? I'm going there. I'm going there right now.
Do you need a lift?
I need this.
Yeah, if you could drive me there, that would be lovely. Otherwise, I was just going to walk there stubbornly.
Yeah, I'm like, are you seriously going to walk the entire station? I'm gonna get the bike and I'm gonna drive her over to the ship.
Brian, you see that it seems to be some sort of long staff device, but there's nothing in it. It's almost meant to wrap around your current staff, silvery gold in color, It's like got horns, and down it looks like a spine, and at the end a spike. You see that once you attach it, you see the spikes either side of the horns latch onto the crystal part, where the horns like go off of the crystal. And what you grant is
I can now shoot and protect people with one weapon. How much it protects people, we're going to find out the hard way.
Aiden, go get shot.
Alright, Aiden, are you ready? I'm going to shield you and shoot you with this gun at the same time.
And as Bryn says that...
I'm joking. I would never.
And Aiden's gone.
Wait, no, Aiden! I don't want to have to walk back to 0 risk!
And in the background you hear brum brum.
No. Oh, beans.
Nah, Aiden comes
Okay.
back, he was just joking too.
So then, I guess you two head back to Zero Risk. Prava's coming back to Zero Risk after his emotional reunion with his friend. That's basically whenever you guys have nothing else to do, you can just wait for until like the appointed time.
I'm making like 7 or 8 magic items, so I think I'm just working the whole time.
Yeah, shall we say that everybody is ready?
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
I am.
Oh, I don't remember these slums with very good memories. Last time I was here, Thiveron's sister betrayed me and poisoned me and did a lot of bad things.
She cured you.
Anyway,
Oh god,
let's see if we can find these runners. Hey, Kuzon, now that you've got eyes in the skies, spot anything?
Right, so essentially in the docking portion of the Absalom station, which is on one of the rings, the Benefactor has essentially pointed out that this is a meeting of like the 3 runners that are going to be joining up and sharing information. They're going to be entering into what appears to be a warehouse.
Oh, sounds easy enough. I'm gonna sneak in there, listen in on their conversation. Once they're done, we take them in.
They don't talk. That's very inefficient. They're basically sharing information digitally and then heading on out. You know for a fact that, well, the Benefactor will tell you it's very unlikely that they will have, like, wireless transmissions.
Another thing we can do since we've got the time is let's take note of all the possible exits and if they get suspicious, how they try to escape. Maybe we can block off some of these exits and intercept them as they're trying to escape.
So here's my thought, Aiden. Me and you, we get set up high, maybe like in the rafters or something like that. Me and you can hide up above them. So everybody else kind of hangs out in the car. And should they start moving or anything like that, like we'll signal you when they're there and it's time for us to start closing in the pincer.
Yeah, I think that's probably our best bet. After all, last time we went sneaking, it went pretty good. Like, I thought you were a scavenger and a builder, Kuzon. Like, you seem to have pretty sticky hands and know how to get out of places real quick. But yeah, unless somebody's got a better idea, I like Kuzon's plan.
Yeah, sounds good to me.
Sounds functional.
And I'm going to just I'm gonna set up, I'm gonna climb up there. I'm gonna set up a cable, but pull Aiden up. But then once he's up here, tie the cable off so that we can quickly kind of release it if we need to. And I'm just gonna squirm myself, just fold myself into a tiny space in one of the rafters or whatever. Just I take up no space if I don't want to.
Well, Kuzon's working. So, Kuzon, what are you gonna say?
What am I gonna say?
I mean, yeah, you know, we're dropping in on these fools, we're taking them by surprise. You gotta have a one-liner.
Hands up, assholes.
Oh, come on, you can do better than that. We've got plenty of time. We gotta think of something cool.
Surrender. dillweeds.
Okay, we'll work on this. This is work in progress. We'll figure
Let's
it out.
work Starfinder. We got this. Just dropping in. No, not too cliche.
You see the three of them dive in from different directions, their own cloaking fields deactivating as one dives through the window, barely missing you, Aiden, as he climbs through and down towards the floor below. Another two come from the doors either side. You can see them all collect in the middle in a nice little triangle formation and get out some wires. And I need to make some rolls for them.
As they're getting ready to talk, I'll try to draw Kuzon's attention. And in my hand, I'm going to take out an EMP grenade since they showed they've got cloaking tech.
As you see them plug in like the wires, you do see one of them like look around and look up towards the rafters for a second. And then he looks back down and accepts the wire from his comrade, plugging it into his neck.
As soon as I see that they're plugging their wires together and they're kind of jerry-rigged in the moment, and it's probably gonna take them a while to unplug themselves and start running, I'm gonna like give Kuzon the signal, and I'm gonna prepare to drop the EMP grenade first.
You guys go.
The
You guys do what you're gonna do. You
is-
guys do what you're doing.
The EMP is not strong enough. It's basically going to fuck up with their suits, and while they're all tangled up, we take the confusion and we just jump
Go
them.
for it. Go for it.
I
Alright,
drop
go
the
for it.
EMP grenade, and after that I get ready to propel with Kuzon once the EMP triggers.
I was just fucking about and yeah, it panicked you. I loved it. Okay, so you threw the EMP down to them, did you?
Yeah, I dropped the EMP on top of them.
Okay, 1 second. Let me roll.
Yeah, and I'll signal the car.
You see one of like twitch as the EMP goes off, almost like his leg buckles a little. The other two immediately turn around, and you see they draw knives from their chest and flash the wires that are connecting them.
No!
You're busted.
So,
We tried.
all right. So, as you guys are rappelling down, I suspect like you rappel down not the wrong way, and you see them turn towards you with knives, and their eyes flash a bit, and they look towards each other, and then bolt.
Kuzon, grab this guy. I'll go after the other two.
Hang on a minute. I gotta.
It's okay, let the GM have his...
Am I close enough that I can cast slow the minute that they come out of the warehouse?
You can try, sure. DC.
DC 19.
This one. There you go. That'll do for a slow. Oh no, there's a snail. Perfect.
Ah, yes,
this
Thiveron casted snail on
one-
him.
I assume you got these two because they came out different ends of the place.
Yeah, I'm going after these when I told Kuzon to
Okay.
grab this guy.
One's closest to us.
See, let me understand this. Bryn, you basically split off from the others to chase the guys Aiden's chasing with Aiden?
Yeah.
Okay. And the three of you, are you chasing this guy on foot? Or...
I'll hail the car.
Prava's on foot. This guy's on foot, but Kuzon should probably take care.
Alright then, for this...
Thiveron can go in the car with Kuzon.
If you're attempting to do, you can roll either athletics or acrobatics in this case if you're outside of a car. If you're inside of a car, please roll piloting.
Yeah, my dexterity's real good now. Let's see how this... Of course!
Of course, for a piloting one, it depends on who's driving.
Oh, okay. You didn't specify. It's like,
Sorry, yeah, I should have specified. It's like who's driving the
Suddenly
car.
Thiveron
with
takes
it,
the
that's
wheel. The
no-
blind driver makes makes a return.
Right, Bryn is making good pace. Right, sadly they automatically gain a speed on you, Prava. You guys keep up in the car. You see this guy like turn towards you and then bolt. You see that he's basically as fast as Aiden. He's moving like 300 feet just. These two, however, this guy did not make it as well. So this guy is actually lagging behind in terms of sprinting. Ryan, you're actually keeping up.
Hell yeah.
Aiden.
Yes. Do I manage to catch up to this boy?
You are. I think you could catch up to him if you wanted.
Yeah.
Would you like to? What kind of check do you want? Do you want to try grappling him?
Yeah, that'll do. I just imagine he's running through the streets. Maybe he goes into some traffic. He starts dodging cars, and I just leap over the fucking traffic, and I just slam on top of him. Bam! I'm gonna do a CQC attack. Do I get to do a trick attack?
No.
Okay, just I'm gonna do a melee attack as an attempt to grapple him.
So basically, as you're running across all these construction things, and you suddenly dive, tackling him to the ground, as you are physically faster than him as well, you would have caught up to him. This guy.
Since we're both moving fast, I'm just gonna see if there's any nearby objects, and I'm gonna use the full force of our momentum to slam him into it and try and knock him out.
Oh, he is officially captured, so he is captured within this round. Bryn, you actually move up right behind this guy, since he got a low roll despite his speed. Now, on to the others. This guy is literally diving through diners and more public areas. Despite you can see one of his legs are a little jittery as he's running through these areas. Now here's the thing, you can choose to ignore the check this time, however that would involve plowing through people and like restaurants and stuff.
Yeah, that's not a good idea.
If you want, you can take -4 to your check in order to avoid these dangers.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to get like engaged with this guy. I am not going to plow through the businesses to do it. I'll take the penalty.
Prava, you do not get the -4 since you are a person on foot.
Beautiful.
Your car takes 5 damage from basically, I would say since you're trying to avoid, that would be high enough to avoid any casualties, but you do have your car clipped on the side and the like.
Yeah, that's reasonable. So like, just like banging into signs and other stuff like that.
As the guy like runs through the diner, like imagine just like knocking stuff down as Prava runs by, he like telekinetically like puts everything back up that he knocked down running by, just like, oh, sorry.
All right, you are catching up. Prava, you did very well.
Okay.
This guy, I want to attempt to blind with a fog cloud. Make it difficult for him to get around stuff.
The fog.
But then I'm also going to roll a aid check for piloting for Kuzon, and I get a +2 because I'm a Blackened to do that. I'm actually, I think I'm actually just going to burn a resolve point for an auto success, so he gets a +2 to his piloting check for whatever penalty you give us for going through there, to simulate me like guiding him through the fog that I created.
Ah, okay, cool. Right, so Kuzon, make pilots again. Prava, make your athletics or acrobatics.
He's gonna get
+2
+2 to his piloting check.
35.
Can I just ray of light past this fool then and like ambush him up ahead?
Tell you what, yes, you can do that.
So Prava melts into a beam of light and like zips ahead, like ahead of him in the chase, get ready to trip him when he runs by.
Alright, so you're like just outside of a fog cloud that Thiveron made.
Yeah, exactly. The second I see this guy go through the fog, I'm just gonna go low and try and bring him to the ground.
Yeah, and then what we'll do is, if, like, I assume we're in communication, I'll intentionally try to, like, use the car and, like, navigating through it, trying to cut him off and basically lead him into Prava. Just, like, trying to set up the ambush.
Alright. Let's roll. Alright, so he did have something for this, but as he's like coming out of a fog cloud, you see him like almost about to jump over you, Prava. He's like, but then his leg buckles a little. You can make your attack if you want.
Yeah. I can't do my special new boosted trip because it's a full action, but I guess I'd just do like my melee attack then for a trip instead of my.
Yeah. Basically, this is a combat maneuver. Remember, I put them down.
Still don't think that's enough, unfortunately.
Oh, wow, it's a +9 thing, and he got it low.
Oh,
However, he is beside you, basically.
nice.
Bryn, what are you going to be doing? As you can see him, like, basically leap over, like, all these, like a very wide ditch, just like...
Well, I have my jumpy boots.
So you use your comfortable hoof boots to also chase after him.
Yep.
Is there
and
any actions you wish to take?
can I touch him?
You try making a melee attack. Basically, this is you reaching out to try touching him.
Okay. Just melee attack. I know how to do. How do I do a melee attack?
Just roll your staff.
All right, I could do that.
29. So yes, you are able to touch him. After overweaving, getting in the way, he's avoiding cables, you manage to just touch your fingers to his back.
All right, I'm archiving. I have a data module in my that it says I have as much. It can store as much data because I have a data core as a large secure data module. Is how much information? No. You know what? No. I will remove as much data from this point backwards as can fit in my data module. The brain hack ability.
Okay. So essentially,
That's scary. Oh my god.
as like he's running, all you see is like as your fingertips touch his back, and then you just see him slow down and start walking, and eventually he's just standing there, like looking around.
And I'll go up to him and tap him friendly on the shoulder, like, "Hey man, are you doing okay? You seem a little bit confused."
He's just looking around. He's so confused.
Yeah, here, why don't you take a sit down? It's going to be okay. Don't worry, I'll look after you. It's going to be okay. You'll just listen to me and everything will be alright, okay?
By the way, Prava, the one you were next to also stopped.
Oh,
Oh, are they all connected?
I'm gonna run up to him and like wave my hand in front of his face, like, "Hello, anyone? We're gonna chase here."
just Kuzon is the car like coming in hot. Screaming.
For good measures, I'm gonna take a full action and just try and trip him better because I'm really disappointed that I failed. So here's the good version of me tripping people.
So as you do that, he just trips over. He seems confused. He's like locked down to the ground.
So, what are these guys?
Hang on a minute. I guess you bring them all together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
As
gonna give
you-
them a looky-loo.
All right, Kuzon, roll me physical science. I believe it would be physical science or medicine.
Okay, I'll do physical science. Boop.
As you take a look and remove parts of their mask, you see that red eye is actually embedded in their face. You see, like, their face is like partly necrotic. They got like teeth and their teeth is exposed behind the mask. Essentially, most of their head has been replaced with cybernetics.
Kuzon, like when Kuzon peels off the masks, he's like, "What do we got here?" And then he opens it up, and he just like you see him like cringe, like his like back arcs up, and he kind of like goes back in shock, just like looking at this.
All right. Well, I have all of their knowledge in this thing, so I guess put me on the computer and we can look through it.
Kuzon kind of starts like he climbs on one of them frantically and like trying to like he like kind of grabs them by the collars and then looks at Bryn and just said like, "Who did this?"
I mean, we can find out. We can find out everything they know. We just have to look at it.
Were they still like fully functional people? Did Prava detect surface thoughts?
You didn't detect surface thoughts.
I see.
Bryn, I'm equipped with a computer. Let me take a look at that.
All right, here you go. She hands over the data core.
Yeah, because I can just plug it into my exocortex. It's a functioning computer.
What are you trying to find out first?
Kuzon will focus on the priority, which is the information they were just trying to exchange, like the most recent memories.
Alright, the most recent memories. You see vision of all three of them at once. Because despite her taking from one area, there are like at least 5 points of view you're getting. You're getting
5,
these
huh?
three, one in a dusty room, and another that seems to be in a cafe that seems awfully familiar.
Shit. There's 2 more. We gotta find them.
They're currently not like active.
That doesn't matter. Somebody, whoever sent them is going to figure out something's wrong, and they're gonna probably try and recover them. We gotta get to them before they do.
You said a familiar cafe, but I can't remember any cafes. Sitting here like,
I did mention there was a cafe across from Zero Risk before.
Yep.
Oh, fuck.
I'm going to the one across Zero Risk. You guys find out where the other bastard is.
It just is it's just in like a dark, dusty room. It's like closed in.
Yeah, it seems like a dark, dusty room with wires extending from the room and towards the camera itself.
Like it's jacked in.
Yeah, like it's jacked into some
Yeah.
like, wires.
Kuzon's like trying to hold back from like throwing up
Yeah.
after looking at all this.
So if they all were disabled at once, that means they're in communication with her. So can we track the transmission, like to figure out where it's coming from, where the dusty room is?
Possibly, Bryn could attempt to do it while Kuzon is working, or if Kuzon's going to use his exocortex to keep scanning the data and help her out.
Yeah. So I'll we can probably work together because I can like try to do a really fast computational scan of like their memories to see if they have a memory of like how they ended up where they are, and I'll cooperate with Bryn. I'll just I'll just offer you the ports in my exocortex if you need a computer to work from, and we'll both work off the same machine. I'll give you permission.
I'm in. Perfect.
Kuzon, roll me 2 sets of computers, one for sifting through the information in their memory,
You go ahead
one
and
for
re-roll that.
aiding Bryn.
I'm gonna go ahead and pop my communalism enhanced and give him a reroll on that.
Yes, please. I like how it was a nat 1, but it was still a 20.
That's how much is
Oh,
invested.
I guess I have a minimum 22 on computers.
So yeah, roll Bryn for your computers. And you get +2.
And I
so
rolled a 2.
23.
What is going on?
So you have a 23 to basically try entering their network. Let's go from basically left to right here. So, Kuzon, first the memory sifting. You see the entire like memory sifting area. You are going through the recent memories of what they were doing. You see that they were scanning the location of a Benefactor. They were also scanning some other individuals of high interest within the dome area at the top of Absalom. But at the point where you found them, they were sharing the latest Tenebrous Guard security information, like basically security routines and identifier markers and stuff like that.
Okay.
By the way, when you
That's
said the
juicy.
latest news, I don't know why, but I immediately went to the fucking journalist tabloids where, what's this commander of the tennis brigade doing on vacation right now? Just to inspire the troops.
Scandal.
Aiden,
Yes.
when you enter into the cafe,
Oh,
just across from Zero Risk,
before I enter, I made sure that whoever is in the building, because we always, no matter if everybody's like on mission, we make sure that at least some people are left behind. I give them a warning to secure the building just in case, keep tabs on the cafe across the street before I make my way there.
As you make your way there, you see a normal-looking guy with what appears to be like a skull-like mask. It's like a fashion statement. It's all chrome, but the dude is literally stuck there mid-sip of his coffee, like he's frozen.
I'm gonna go over to the waitress to tell her I'm gonna pay his tab. He's my friend. He's coming with me. And after I pay his tab, I unceremoniously just grab him under the armpit. I lift him up. I tap him on the head. Come on, buddy, let's go. And I start dragging him along.
Oh, do you want to roll me deception?
Sure. Just a sec. Where's my sheet?
It's like, hey, it's like, come on, buddy. You know how it's going. It's like drag.
Deception. Believe it or not. Oh, don't you mean bluff? I don't think
Is it called
deception's a
bluff?
thing.
Yeah,
I
it's
suppose it's bluff, huh?
Deception's in
Believe it or
the other
not,
one.
but despite Aiden's poker face, he is actually not that bad at bluffing.
So essentially, he goes, "Oh, okay," and you paid like 12 credits, and
12
he's like, he
credits.
gets dragged off, and he's still stiff, but he does keep moving. Like he was just so confused, he had just stopped because he had forgotten everything. And you're dragging him along outside, of course, and you can do what you wish.
I basically cart him onto the bike like fucking luggage unceremoniously. Then I get on top of my bike, and as I'm driving back, I basically contact the guys and say, "Hey guys, I'm bringing in some fresh vegetables over. How's things on your end?"
Speaking of things on their end, Bryn,
Mhm.
you have hacked the first module and entered into the network. However, which one are you trying to get to? Are you trying to get to one in the room?
Yeah, the one that's in the dusty room.
Right, you need another computer's check. If anybody wishes to aid it, you may do.
I'll give you assistance.
I'm standing in the screenalism range. I'm ready to burn some resolve.
Better than a 2. Better than a 2. Better than a 2. A 3.
3. Better than
Let's
2.
do.
You should have been more specific.
Start chanting better than a 10 and give that another go.
Okay. Better than a 10. Better than a 10. Better than a 10. Hey!
Better than 10, yay!
It was a
That's
17.
2. That's plus 2.
It's 38.
The security is extremely tough. It's like an entire wall, but once you enter into the mind, there's so much free space that you can physically lift the creature's arm and
Oh.
tilt its head.
I am now in control. Alright, cool. This isn't creepy.
Make him stand in a
What,
very
taking his
embarrassing
memories
pose.
wasn't creepy enough.
Right. Alright. You know what? This is fine. Alright. So I'm going to look around. Is there any like computer module that this guy's connected to?
You start turning around to trace the wires around the room, but as you do, you feel like you can't turn all the way around. And if you feel on your back, you feel the many wires and cables are directly plugged into this guy.
So he's connected to all of the communication in Absalon. And that's what they're using? I want to make
Yes.
sure I understand. Okay.
Basically, mobile service, like internet providers, they're using bits and pieces of each of these services to connect them, like a hive.
So if I disconnect this, I'll probably lose connection to this robot.
Well, you know that is arm's flesh, but yes.
I want to spend some time combing through the last week of their memories. I'm gonna like file the information down a little bit and make it seem like not a whole lot has been happening, and filing it down so that it's just like, we were sitting here, nothing of interest happened. Does that make any sense?
Yeah, basically you want to make it as mundane as possible. Yeah, I get what you mean.
Just delete our contact with them, like just literally just like go back like a day and just like, oh, no significant memories here.
Yeah, and I'm not going to plug these guys back in. I think I'll leave it up to the police to deal with them. But I will, if they have a way to upload the information, I'm basically going to spend some time doctoring the info, and then I'll upload it myself to not draw any attention. Like, upload that information.
All right, so you want to upload the information. If you're going to doctor it, then I will need another computer skill from you.
Yes.
This is going to be tough.
Would you like to help me, Brian?
Well,
Can I help with it? Well,
Hang on. Why is that, Thiveron?
Thiveron wants to use his like general knowledge of like dialogue and narrative to aid.
Yeah, sure, I would allow that.
Um,
It's like, that's not realistic. This is here. So you can aid with that respect as well. Bind, if you want to aid him as well.
Can I roll my storyteller for that?
Yeah. I like that. That was inventive. Yep. Kuzon, you got a +4.
It's 28.
24.
He said this was hard and I could do this a lot, so why don't you go ahead and reroll that?
Kuzon, what's
Okay.
wrong with your computer skills today, my dude?
there we go.
35. Right, so basically with Thiveron like pointed out, no, this would match up to like our behavior, do this here, do this there, you know, have a so-and-so here. So basically as you're cutting down editing, Brian's helping you with any like mismatches in memory and the like, you eventually have a very mundane report.
I think that we need to leave this to Absalom to figure out what we can do about these guys. We basically bought ourselves a week of like
Oh, yeah, so I can
no
just-
suspicion, but I don't want to keep these guys.
These guys are officially like public enemy, like, you know, the police will
also-
cooperate with us, so just
So you're basically reporting them to the group that Thiveron mentioned before, which is basically like the police of the Pact Worlds.
you know, send the information to Mo too, you know, make sure all of our best people are on this.
Yep.
Mo has so much information. If
Yeah,
he ever turned
Mo-
on anyone, it'd be like,
Mo is trustworthy, so he needs to be on board for this shit.
fair enough. So soon enough, the cops start coming down. Like you see some of the peacekeepers coming, arresting them, asking for any location. Brian, they do ask you, could you keep up like what you're doing until they're probably secured?
Yeah,
Cut
I
off
can
minute,
I
like-
can keep this for the entire day. Al just won't renew it next time, so they'll be back to like normal.
Have a good day. And he's like, they're all locked up, and they make sure to get your reports and the like.
Yeah.
By the way, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but eventually they're gonna figure out what we did. If we're gonna strike at the Tenebrae Guard, we better do it quick, otherwise they'll be ready for us.
I think we bought ourselves like a week.
Yeah, time to get to Verces and investigate this facility. Maybe they'll have the data that was stolen from us, you know, the other half. We can put this whole thing together.
I think
Alright.
I agree that we should probably move quickly, though. There's no telling if we do actually have the element of surprise until we get there.
Well, luckily,
Very true.
we have the fastest pilot in the galaxy, so I'm sure we'll make it in time.
Yes, Kuzon.
Excuse me?
No, I'll give Aiden this. He gets us around the universe faster than any pilot.
Hey!
Mind you, those rolls are supposed to represent like the coincidental placements of the planet, so like I don't really know if we can really thank Aiden for that, but
Okay,
I have
Prava,
seen it.
I can't figure out if you're complimenting me or if you're dissing me right now.
Aiden, you're the most efficient pilot I'll ever met, and I'll leave it at that.
Right. So Josiah is basically waiting as you come on back. It's like, right. So, would you plan on going to Verces?
Yep, that's our intent.
Then let us plan. How do you intend on entering the building?
Well, they have data that we want, so I don't want to just go in the front door, you know? I want to make sure that we get in, secure the data before they even know we're there. So let's talk layout. Where are the access points to this building?
So did the information, because you mentioned that part of the information they had was some updates to security protocol. So is there anything notable that I was able to glean from like a change in security protocol that would apply for like going out? Like I guess other question I'd have is like, is there anything on their person that I could like use as some kind of identification or something as like a model to tamper with while we're traveling, if that makes any sense? Like if they have like an ID number that I can like doctor and try to use for something else.
As I said, you guys gained some IDs and stuff like that. Less about entering IDs and more like signals and stuff, meant to be put in with communications or when entering certain service areas.
Yeah. So it's like we have like permission to, or not permission, but you know what I mean? Like we have clearance as if we were authorized to be in a certain place.
Yes, however, I do not think that will work for too long at all.
Yeah.
You see Josiah getting out, like basically a map. He's showing you a map of a picture that someone had taken, which I forgot to remove the opacity on. There we go.
Man,
Up
if
in the
that's not the
top
Tower
left,
of
by the way.
Evil, I don't know what is.
So which of these buildings is this one, right? It's got to be.
The big one, yes. Whatever you guys are gonna do, Josiah like straightens his tie and taps on the hologram. I can clear the surrounding streets as you desire.
By the way, do we have any idea of what kind of security we can expect in there? After all, infiltration is my specialty.
From what I've heard, they've cleared out most of the civilian population apart from those at the very bottom of the tower. And well, you put a fire alarm and they'll easily escape. As for the rest of the floors, it's generally unknown right now, unless we have Jacko himself dive on in.
Speaking of diving, what if we decide to enter the building from up above? How's the fly area in that part of in that neck of the woods? Are ships allowed to fly by the building?
Only if they have clearance. Since you have clearance, but sadly, they use visual identifiers as well. But I think you can use that. Several buildings around the area have turrets, ones that are designed to fight ships. Seems like they bought those areas just to place them there. Above, an emergency shield will produce on the top of the building to prevent orbital bombardment. But it only covers the top of the building.
Jeez, they
Oh,
sure
you can shoot
spared
it
no
from the
expenses.
side?
What are these guys so paranoid about?
Yeah, it's more about the person.
They should be paranoid about us, Aiden.
I mean, yeah,
You know who
but still.
this isn't technically their building. It's their, I guess I'll say it's their benefactor.
I see. We got that information who that was, didn't we? Who was that?
Don't wait, I'll post it again. Maxwell Agre
Yeah.
of Silver
Silver
Dreams. He's a Vax businessman. Of course, given from his home system, he bought a lot of military technology.
That's not what situation I thought was then, so this doesn't belong to the Time Reserve. What's this Maxwell like in his dealings? Is he an unwilling tool for these guys, or is he actively encouraging their degeneracy?
Well, everything what we know, he's the one leading all this. And he never leaves that damn tower. You can even see his home right at the top.
Oh, wonderful. So he'll be there, and I guess we'll get a chance to interrogate the man himself when we arrive.
True, but I don't think you're going to be able to enter from the top or bottom. That's the problem we're having here. And you can't have your ship stick around for too long. Otherwise, the turrets will recognize your ship and gun it down.
Are there any?
Can we zip line like from one of the adjacent buildings to like a mid floor?
You could, or you could go to a mid-floor different way if you're willing for a little bit more of a dangerous route.
I mean, or we could infiltrate the building like through normal means. What's this building normally there for? Do they accept public visitors?
No, they don't. Not anymore. I mean, they accept them at the bottom level, but the problem is that the bottom level is completely cut off.
Oh, don't keep us in suspense, Benny. You mentioned there's another way in. Let us know.
Okay, first things first. If you want to go in from bottom level, you're going to have to go up 300 floors up.
Yeah, honestly,
Not
going
exactly.
for the bottom level feels like a mistake.
However, there was a small, interesting items we took from a Tenebrous Guard from your last few jobs, or at least that zero risk done for me. And he basically shows you a small data pad with the item I just posted in the chat.
Oh, baby.
Yep.
Ooh.
Orbital drop suits. Essentially, they are able to be attached to a suit with armor slots available.
Ooh.
Yep. My boys do the best work. Aiden looks very proud.
So what are these like the basic units, or do these have stealth capabilities? Can we get in?
These are the stealth ones. It seems like the Tenebrous Guard, given their Black Ops and Wet Work abilities, always chooses the best and most sneaky approach.
Well, it's gonna be to our advantage. So we breach somewhere in the center, set the drop pods on an angle, and try and penetrate the building from the side.
You fly through the city, avoiding what buildings you can, stay below the sensitive turrets. Use your ID to trick their scanners into thinking you're one of their ships for a split moment you're there. Release yourselves from your cargo hold as the ship takes off into space, and you slam into one of the mid-floor windows.
It's an old code, but it checks out.
A busy building like this probably has dozens of people just passing traffic, giving them positives for clearance. I think it would take some time for anybody to be able to connect the dots.
Not to mention, if you pick out the right floor, there may not be anybody there at time. You may not even have to smash through a window. If you have some way to stick to the outside of the building, the stealth drop pod shouldn't make that big of an impact. And you can get inside.
We can easily get some gear to help us stick. I've got some on me right now, and this stuff ain't exactly expensive.
Also, if we had a way to smuggle this in, we would be able to use this teleportation puck to teleport ourselves inside.
Interesting.
However, we would have to make the skydive and ensure that it is placed within 30 feet.
Actually, that's a good point. Did you think about using that to escape instead?
It is also a good idea.
Everybody's armor does have an armor slot free, correct?
Yeah, I was about to mention that I don't have armor slots.
No, I was just going to say, I was going to say, I could attempt to joy rig something, but your carrying capacity would be extremely limited.
That's fine. I'm used to procuring gear on site. Usually that's the best way not to leave any traces behind. I'll leave most of my equipment behind and just take the bare bones of what I can. I'd rather stay with this armor. I know it's a problem that it doesn't have any armor slots, but I need to work light. I'm used to it.
If you plan on carrying anything from your ship, you better do so. After all, it'll be out of range once it gets into space. So if you want to take your little quote-unquote, as you put in your streams, daughter, I would suggest you find a place to put her. But yeah, the Josiah does say, feel free to do as you desire once you're inside. As I said, I'll make sure that the place is evacuated of civilians in a very subtle way, so they won't notice.
Right, so what's the plan with the building once we get in there and start causing some havoc? If the area is gonna be cleared out, Kuzon, you think we should keep it as an option to call in the ship and deliver the payload that we've been holding on for like half a year now? Maybe bring this entire fucking place down in case we want to? You know, I'm just saying, in case we need something really big to make a difference.
I wanted to send a clear message to the Pact Worlds that if you intend to profit off of the suffering of innocent people, you will lose everything.
Oh, if you gain access to the shields, maybe you'll be able to turn it in some sort of container, so then when you destroy the tower, you'll just destroy it in that area.
Is the force field surrounding the building for the most part, unless you have clearance? Is that how it works?
The main shield is an umbrella thing, but he suspects, and what information Jackal's recovered, is that it's probably in a bunker below the tower. Like the main generator.
Speaking of the Jackal, where is he now?
No, he's still on Verses from what I know.
Great.
He said he's trying to get more information.
Thiveron, you have a Vorak, right? That's your crow companion?
Yes, it is here with me.
Okay. I was looking at all the creatures that could fit in the pet compartment, and Vorak seems very useful. I don't think you've used him though.
He can also aid me in dispelling magic.
True. Or I could get a little guy who likes to steal things.
That sounds amazing. Where did you find him? I can't find that boy.
I don't think your mom will approve much of your newfound hobbies, Bryn.
I don't know. I'm just finding ways to expand my magic so that it doesn't just it interacts more with organic things. I could also use it for the good. I've used it to help heal people.
Brian's skill set is developing perfectly. She's becoming a top-tier infiltration and information specialist.
I don't think the world is gonna see it the same way when the world finds out that you literally turn people into exactly what the fuck did you do to them anyway? They looked like they were drooling and had their minds zapped.
They were already like that. They were being controlled. They were brought back from the dead. They're like these weird necromantic creatures, like.
I don't understand. All I saw was Brian hack a computer, right? You said yourself those guys were more machine than man. She didn't do anything strange, did she?
Speaking of that, how deep did you go into their memories, Kuzon?
I'd say like as we're talking and gathering information, I'm still sorting through it. Yeah, I'd say I'd go pretty like as deep as I can about because I'd want to know like what information they've already gathered and sent about us or like around and the station and stuff like that, like these past few weeks, and try to line them up with different incidents and stuff like that.
You would see that they've only been active for about 3 weeks, but carry on. Sorry, Brian. What was that?
No, I wanted to see if you can see how they were like created. What's their first memory?
Going back to that point, like for a few weeks, they've only been active for around about a month or so, keeping track of you and so on. They were the ones who reported back of where you were, like at the concert, so then the operation could happen. You know, with the zombie unleashed, so somebody else, Azamara, could go and claim the data. However, the first memory they have is of this face. Looming over them and adjusting bits and pieces of them.
I'm going to blow up their workshop.
Gonna blow it up.
That's
None of it shall remain.
we worked with, or that's the apprentice?
That's the apprentice.
Dr. Cruz.
This guy was the one.
That's right, Dr. Octavius.
The one who turned Aiden into a doggo.
Nah.
Oh yeah, he deserves a nice beating, but there's somebody else in that building that I'm more interested in first.
So, is there any other resources you guys need?
I'm just gonna get this pet in passing. Excuse me.
So what kind of people can you get us? Because like I don't want them like smuggling their tech and their weapons out of this building. Like I want to make sure that we really round up as many of their resources as possible. Can we get eyes on the building to like make sure they're not?
I could get the local authorities to surround the building area on the ground and, well, at least the lower roof level.
Yeah,
Because I
perfect.
could easily mark the area as a disaster zone. Like a sudden earthquake could appear at some time, so they couldn't get past emergency services once it's been evacuated without raising suspicion.
We'll gather them up and ship them off to the correctional facility, all cattle-like.
There is one more thing. I'm not inclined with magical bullshit though. So, just in case this turns up like it did in the secret facility that my people raided, in case they've got some kind of fucked up portals in there and they're trying to bring something through it, we should probably think of a way to deal with that. Because if a portal opens inside that building and it gets out of control, a lot of people are gonna get hurt.
Well, any portals you encounter, shouldn't
Wait,
your
did I
own
just-
magic users take out?
I'm gonna look towards Thiveron and Bryn. Can you guys do that?
What was the question? I was listening.
Is she just like on her phone, like, oh, cute animals?
I'm gonna bring up the footage of my guys encountering a portal and blowing it up. If one of these things is inside that building, can you guys take care of it?
We could try.
I don't know much about. Can I recognize like what kind of portal it is? What it is?
You can. Actually, somebody already did Mystic. Thiveron did when he last saw it, and he can easily tell you the fact that it was an interdimensional portal.
Okay, I've never encountered one of these before, but theoretically, Thiveron and I can take it apart safely.
Yes, we'll try to deactivate it carefully. That way there is zero risk.
Aha!
Hey.
I'm sorry, Sid told me to say it.
So one preparation I do want to do is I want to rent out a like parking garage or something nearby, and
Mhm.
I am going to smuggle. So like we'll do the drop with the ship, which makes the most sense, but I will keep the car in like a nearby parking lot or something, so that if I need something short term, like we'll make sure the ship lands and puts the car somewhere beforehand.
Clever. Okay, yeah.
Yep.
I like that idea. Just how it's gonna look. By the way, Prava, you may want to give out a small notification that you're going on hiatus. Given that your followers know that you work for me, they've been bombarding my email.
Oh yes, I've been meaning to talk to them, but it's been so busy. I'll make a post as soon as we're out of here.
Aiden gently puts an arm on Josiah's shoulder and looks at him longingly, understanding the pain of Prava literally causing you grief because he's being too popular.
he nods in understanding. You know, my operation was meant to be very low key.
Yes,
to
I know.
not attract much attention.
That's why I was okay with working for you. You told me it's gonna be stealth operations, and that's my specialty. I love being unseen.
Yes, and it was all meant to be have a few people, and then Prava came along, and then Smiles got popular.
And then there was that entire fucking incident on the Daria where the riots turned into public knowledge.
That's where it started, yes.
Yeah, that was definitely the turning point where everything just went sideways.
Joke's on us when Josiah's up to something extra bad, and because of all this publicity, the stewards start knocking down our door.
You know, in hindsight, actually Kuzon has a thumb in this as well. It's not entirely Prava's fault. Kuzon, couldn't you have picked a fucking ship that's not so noticeable? But but seriously though, once this shit comes down, we seriously should figure out what the fuck's wrong with the ship. Like, I feel like there's something we're missing with it.
Wait, the ship is some kind of mystery? I didn't even realize. I thought that was just like a vibe ship. You
ship's
vibe.
very old. It was found often really old tech. Kuzon, what was your prediction? How old do you think it was?
That's a good question. I don't know.
Listen, all you need to know about the ship, Bryn,
I don't know.
is old, it's very noticeable, and from time to time there's banging in the walls. That's probably a Taika. Asa that was with us before you joined us. He likes killing things, so since he doesn't know you, if you spot him, just run.
Okay, sounds good.
I'm sure that the computer, everything's gonna be fine. Don't worry. By the way, how is that Noelle doing?
Oh, she's growing up so well and becoming such a good little SRO.
Yeah, recently I taught her how to do backflips with bikes.
It's lucky that I actually registered you as their adopted parents, otherwise we may have had a bit of issue.
Oh? Why's that?
Because you can't just kidnap children, Aiden.
But does she count? I mean, technically her dad
I
gave her
mean,
to us,
we
right?
were entrusted to her by her father, yeah, so I mean...
Also, what do you mean I can't just take children? I've been doing it for like 10 years now.
I think Moana has been covering your ass and making sure the proper paperwork is done.
Wait, there's paperwork involved with taking children?
Yes, Aiden. Yeah. Yeah. Moana's just like probably outside of the room.
Wait,
Oh,
does that mean that
he's
my mom
found
and
out.
dad had to file in paperwork when they collect their stuff? That's weird.
I think they did. I don't know. Dragons work a bit differently. It's possible they just kept you.
No, I wasn't talking about me. What about when dad collects gems and gold or mama collects businesses?
Oh, that's a totally different thing. That's business.
The
That's,
business is definitely have paperwork, and the stones probably don't. I think I can...
Yeah, there's difference.
Wait,
There's a
that's not fair. How come dad gets a freebie, mom doesn't, and I have to fill in paperwork for taking children? If I want them more than anybody else, then I should be able to take them, right?
Clearly, you don't have to deal with it, because you didn't know that it was being dealt with.
Yes.
You know, when I get back, maybe I should give Moran a small present or something.
Yes, you should, she says from like outside of the room.
Okay, is everybody listening in on this conversation? What's going on out there?
The walls are thin, Aiden. They're like made out of plaster.
I literally, like, said invest more into improving the security of this place. See what happened with the zombies? Yeah, that shit wouldn't have happened if this building was secured.
The outside walls are reinforced. You punched through one.
Oh yeah. Hey, look, if I can punch through it, invest more into it.
Actually, that'd probably be more hilarious. Literally, you're talking in the room where the hole you punched through is literally being boarded up, so people can hear you. Oh.
I'm gonna menacingly glare through the hole in the wall. I'm watching you.
Oh god. But yeah, if you want that pet, by the way, Bryn, you can get the pet.
Oh, cool. How do I make a character sheet for it?
I'll make the character sheet, don't worry. Dramatic music for making pets.
Mm-hmm. I'm guessing
There
we're
you
saving the infiltration for next time.
Oh yeah.
Probably. I didn't want to
I don't
start
think
it with...
we can
10-minute
manage.
mission, let's go. In
Yeah, I
and
don't
out.
think we can squeeze the entire thing in 10 minutes. We're good, but we're not that good.
Let's do it. We've got it.
I tell you what, though, Aiden, do you want to do a roll before we like end off and stuff? Why don't you make a roll for taking flight? It's only 1d6. Plus
Gotcha.
your piloting if you really want to like quash it.
Roll 1d6 first of all. So that's a 5. And the piloting check. Here it comes. That's not good.
I'll spend the resolve. Why don't you give that another go?
No. Let's see here. More than a 4. No, wait. More than a 15, please. I shouldn't have said more than a 4 first. I did get a 5 that time. Great. Okay, I guess that's karma for you. There it is.
It is going to take you around about 3.5 days in time.
Hmm.
So at least you're gonna get there before the next transmission needs to be made.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's our only benchmark, is we need to get there before that.
Well, that's all that I can think of. Usually I'm the kind of guy that likes to improvise on site, so I got nothing.
Yeah, unless we have more information, I don't think we can prepare much further.
It's like we're taking all of the necessary precautions. I think we'll be all right.
Since I don't have to be vigilant for my downtime activity, I'm going to do some training so I can stay in shape and basically prepare for the mission.
Good. Well then, I look forward to seeing the results. I'll pay appropriate reward, and whatever you can take within the building is yours.
Sweet.